Hello, everyone. Welcome to Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl for the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic. Joining me once again is Mike Aulby. We're down to our final four, Mike, and we got some familiar faces here in the state. We got Gene Perez and Jimmy Cook right there knocking on the door.
Yeah, I mean, the guys have looked great. They've made great adjustments, and I think the top four are the ones that deserve to be here. So who can make the adjustments as the lanes change will be the ones that will take it in the end.
The guy that could be the sleeper pick could be Jeff Grego from Fort Wayne, Indiana.
Well, he showed a great power there and getting lined up at the end and made great shots, carried really well, and that's going to be a key as well as making the right angle to carry.
Bowlers are going to bowl 2 games, and the top score will be claimed the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic champion. Mike, it's going to be an exciting telecast.
Yeah, looking forward to it. A lot of fun, and like I said, the four that deserve to be here are here.
All right, we're going to let the bowlers get practice underway, and we're going to find out who's going to claim the championship here in just a few minutes.
After the power surge. Partial surge.
Okay, we have our final four for the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic. They'll be bowling on lanes 5 and 6. We have Gene Perez from Greenwood, Indiana. Have Jeff Grego from Fort Wayne, Indiana. Hunter Glaze from Muncie, Indiana. And Jimmy Cook from Indianapolis, Indiana. They're going to bowl 2 games. It's a 2-game total pins match. And we're now going to turn them on for 8 minutes of practice.
All right, I want to thank Tournament Director Jeff Circle for introducing our players. And Mike, I'm expecting some really quality bowling here as we get down to the final 4 guys to determine the championship.
Well, especially that we've seen the last couple rounds that with the practice, the extra time they get on the lanes to figure them out, and it is a fresh pair, so they can kind of help to try to set them up the way they want if they can, and I would expect decent scores again.
Well, and it took quite a bit to get in to the final 4. The low man was Jimmy Cook at plus 54.
Yeah, good. I mean, I wasn't expecting that good of scores once they flipped and went to the other pair of lanes, but boy, they certainly got lined up quick.
I think if you would have asked all 8 guys, 430 would have been the number they probably would have felt really good with, and here it took 20 more pins than that. So fresh pair here you have on 5 and 6. We're going to be off to the side on each pair here. The way they have us set up, we're almost directly behind 5 and 6.
Might have to get the paper and pencil back out.
That's right. No scoring right now.
Yeah, a little power surge.
Can you imagine how many kids would have a hard time bowling when you have to keep your own score?
Yeah, I mean, that'd be a good candid camera thing. There you go. That's just shut the scorers off. As I see Scott working frantically behind the counter up there. Scott Devers, my partner here at Arrowhead.
We're going to try to get the cameras fixated here a little better. Okay, just want to kind of let you know what's going on. Right before they started practice, we had a power surge here at the bowling center, and scoring has been lost. And so at that point in time, Mike, you probably can explain things a little better than me as being a proprietor. And
Yeah, they just have to reboot the entire system. So, and that can take, depending on what's going on in the center, 10 to 45 minutes. So we hope it'll come up sooner. It's not that busy in here, but we do get here in this area, we get power surges quite a lot, actually, unfortunately. But yeah, so this knocked down. It's coming back up. It's rebooting, but as you can see, some of the across the center, some of the graphics are starting to pop again, and so it just has to reload the entire system. Which, as you can imagine, there's all sorts of graphics and things that are in there, and it takes some time. So,
well, and right now the protocol will be for our statistician, who happens to be Jeff Circle,
among other things.
Among other things, will be keeping score by hand. And I'm not so sure that we're going to have a hard time letting you know what's going on score-wise. We'll do the best we can, but strange things happen, and we'll just chalk it up to 2020. Right?
Yes, and you know, we can go back to the 80s with the urethane balls that are being used here and there. So just that'd be a great tournament. You should do that too. Just you have to use a plastic or something. We'll call it a 2020 tournament.
Yeah.
But you know, I do believe we've got 4 of the best here. You know, that are lined up and ready to go. You know, Matt Sanders. I thought Matt bowled Sanders bowled well enough to get in there. He just wasn't able to strike. You know, I thought Zach Tackett also bowled well. I thought he got lost early in the first game, maybe 4 or 5 frames where he was uncomfortable, but then he got lined up and had a couple shots that didn't carry for him to get him in there. So
well, and if he would have struck out, he'd have shot 248, and it wouldn't have been enough.
Yeah.
He'd have been plus 47.
yeah.
When Jimmy got the first strike in the 10th, that pretty much locked him in or shut
And that was one of those big saves you talked about earlier. I mean, he's shooting 170 in the fifth frame, and so, he was almost backing himself out, but made a great save of that game.
Well, and then that eliminated Simon Mote, who, he was plus 43. And, of course, Danny really struggled game number 2. He was way down there. I think he shot in 140-something. Imagine if that power surge would have happened about halfway through game number 2.
Yeah, we'd have had to maybe look at some tape somewhere to see what the scores were.
Well, we didn't have to.
Yeah, nope. That's the silver lining part.
So we're all in conversation. The players are getting a lot more than 8 minutes because we really had to get score sheets, and Jeff had to go get stuff that he could write scores down with.
Pencil, pen.
I hope he brought a big eraser.
He's smiling.
Oh, my goodness. Jeff said there was a lot of work involved, but no one told him math was one of them. Oh, my goodness.
But like a good tournament director, he rolls with the punches and keeps us online and keeps us going, and and that's part of being a great director.
Sometimes the requirements are a little more than what you're wanting to do here. We're going to try to figure out. We'll get the leadoff scenario here on the pairs. Jeffrey, I'm going to call it right down the middle, my friend. We're right here in the back and right behind the players, so we got a pretty good vantage point here behind 5 and 6. And again, want to thank everyone for watching here on Savage Bowling TV. Want to thank our sponsors. Can't thank them enough. Motive Bowling, Pinheads Bowling Center in Fishers, Indiana. Big Four Socks, Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl, and the wonderful people from Anderson-Madison County Visitors Bureau. And Hunter Glaze is probably thinking, let's restart, as he starts right out of the gate with the 2-4-8-10. Gene with a 7-pin. Two game total pins will determine our champion and the place of finish. First, second, third, and fourth. And we can't forget one thing, Mike. First place not only gets the biggest check, but they also get the entry into the USBC Masters and a $500 bonus here for expenses. So not only
Las Vegas, I believe, correct?
Yeah, not only big money, but an
opportunity for more. Yeah,
parlay that into something else.
Mm-hmm. And all 4 of these guys are capable once they get out there at that national event, to have an opportunity.
Absolutely.
To do well.
Absolutely. And now Jeff Grego's first shot here in the championship match, lane 5. Mike,
good shot.
We didn't talk much in the opener, but how, coming into a fresh pair off of, pairs that have already been used, what's that going to play in a role in this championship match?
Well, each one of them have already bowled several times on an opening squad or where it's fresh, so they've all had to weather that storm. So I don't think it's going to scare them off any, especially when you get to practice. If you get to practice, it's one thing when you switch lanes and you're all of a sudden hitting a fresh pair like the last round when the right-hander switched to left-hander switch. It's basically fresh pairs for them. So they've had practice, and I think that will be good. And sometimes when there's no scoreboard up to watch, that helps certain players by not watching the score. So
you're right. That's right. Great
that
point.
That could be a good thing.
Great point. And you have to think that the experience of Gene Perez in this situation and Jimmy Cook have to have a little bit of an advantage, right? They've been here before. Both of them have won this event. Gene Perez won it just back in 2018. Jimmy Cook, I think, has been back in the early, maybe 2010, somewhere in that range. But how much of a factor will that play?
Yeah, obviously I think they both want to get back in the winner's circle. But, what you want to do here in the first game is you want to make sure you don't get yourself way behind. you know, if one guy starts out with a good 230 or 240 game, last thing you want to do is be down 50 pins going into that last game.
Gene Perez looking
Yeah.
to make it 3 out of the last
The
5
ball's just kind
state
of wiggling,
championship.
and his ball's kind of wiggling going down the lane. It's not quite getting there, and getting a bad break on that one.
And the tough thing for us as announcers, we're not going to know what they did the previous frame.
Yeah,
short,
that's the bad part about not seeing a score.
short memory, right?
Yeah.
I should be writing these down, but I can only do so many things at once, right? Chad going to adjust our camera here a little bit.
This is for a double. We do know that. Then play.
Comes in light.
Just like everybody else, everybody seems to be coming in just way late.
Well, they got a little bit of extra practice as we were going through the scoring issues, with the power surge. Jeff had to get all of his scoring sheets, and you don't have many of those around in the bowling centers anymore, do you?
No, I know he does have some, so that's you're right. You got to go either on the internet or hopefully you got some left over from the 80s.
Well, I had to go into the filing cabinet way in the back to find those, I'm sure.
Yeah.
A good spare there for Jeff.
And we're not having an earthquake, right?
No, Chad's adjusting the cameras for us. We're trying to give you the best look possible. We don't have the scoring monitors up. And Jimmy with the chop of the spare there.
Yeah, 3 off the 6. You don't want to give up those spares, that's for sure. Put you behind.
And you can see here on the back, you can see some of the past winners going back even to 2003. Steve Hartman, Aaron McCormick.
Aaron was in the field today.
Yeah. Steve Harmon was one of them. And now we got Gene Perez here on lane 5, working on an open frame.
Well, the ball's just going farther and farther down the lane, but he got it up there enough. And he'll take that one and make a move off of it. And
well, Gene's move, Mike, is probably not moving his feet. It's just hitting it harder.
well, he's got room to do that. I mean, I think with the way he could use the roll a little earlier and he'd be fine.
Hunter Glaze has started off open, spare, spare. And now another look at Jeff Grego here on the left lane, lane 5. I believe they're in the 3rd frame for some of these guys.
Beautiful shot.
Nice shot.
Beautiful.
Excuse me. Now Jimmy Cook, lane 6. Jimmy coming off an open frame where he chopped the 3 off the 6.
Nice
Great shot.
Yeah.
Now we'll start the 4th frame. The other thing too, Mike, without scoring, like you said, it's probably a good thing for the players not to know where they're at, right? Maybe in your head.
Yeah.
But we don't know how critical each shot is as we move forward. So we'll try to do the best we can to convey scoring as well as frames.
Well, that's a double. Oh, no, is it a double? Did he get that last one? It was
Yes.
light, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
the
that's
10
right, the
pin
light
fell
one,
late.
yeah,
Yep. All right, Hunter with the spare.
This is for a double as well.
Oh,
great shot. Great shot.
Too, you get to this championship round, and you kind of get the adrenaline flows a little bit more. The nerves start to pick up. Sometimes it's A little bit. Your body wants to do some things. Your mind plays a little bit
Yeah.
of tricks on you, doesn't it?
And it's hard to do the start and stop. You know, you have a round and then you have a break for a few minutes and you start again. I mean, they've been doing that all day. So it's not easy to keep that momentum going when you have to keep starting and stopping.
Now another Gene Perez stepping up with a double. I believe this will be his 6th frame already.
He hit that one. Oh, good shot. Solid 7.
You know, he got that one in a little bit too, Mike, and it didn't have quite the angle,
Yeah.
which could
He got
be
it in, but he got the lift. He definitely got the lift.
maybe why the wrap 7 there.
Yep. Yeah, it was a little more narrow into the angle he needed. Change balls.
Oh, that's smash 8. Oh, that's like a punch in the gut, isn't
Yeah,
it?
Hunter, it's all right to shake your head on that one, man. Good ball change, though, because that was high flush.
You know, I was just about to say, sometimes Gene's spare shooting, especially on the corner pin, can be dicey, and they both. Can you believe that? Both of them go right back-to-back single pin whiffs.
Yeah, I mean, with the scores, you know, it seems to be we're not on a very good pace here yet. So, you know, every open is a big one.
You're right.
Good break, breaking that one down.
All right, Jimmy Cook now here on the right lane.
Oh, trips the 2. I think that's 3 in a row for Jimmy.
Oh, you just gotta. Not much you can do about that when you're
No.
bowling against him. You just gotta.
That's why you don't look.
Well, and you know what? One thing you got to think about too is, all right, you know what? He tripped essentially the 210. He's not really lined up from that shot, right? You can't imagine him carrying that all.
He's been able to put some good shots around it, though. That's the thing. I mean, you know, but you got to wonder if that shot one of these times isn't going to give you that. Good strike for Gene Perez.
All right, Hunter Glaze now here on lane 5, left lane.
My gosh.
Boy, did he send some pins all over the place.
What a shot. I mean, and you figure that's solid 8. I mean, that obviously cost him a double, but man, good ball change because that ball is looking much better than what he started out with.
Obviously, he saw something in practice that made him start with the ball
Mm-hmm.
that he did. And it's amazing how quickly, all right, I don't like that.
But no,
You
that's
know?
good. Yeah, it's good to make that change before it's, you know, you're just throwing away frames if you don't. Oh, you take that break.
Well, you know, to win championships, you got to have breaks.
And you gotta, yeah, you just gotta make shots behind it and move on.
Like you said, Jimmy's working on a 3-bagger, we believe.
Wow, power, good shot. That's what you do. You take advantage of your opportunities and continue to make good shots when you can and see what happens.
Jimmy, a very confident player, too.
You'd much rather have that than that solid 8 that Hunter left.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. Based on what I'm seeing right now, he's got to throw a strike right here to get a double. Oh, Messenger behind the 10. He hasn't had much luck right
No,
now.
he has not. But he's not far out. I mean, you just gotta, you can, if you're hitting a pocket like that, I think you got strings coming here. Oh, good
wow.
shot. Good break.
Almost a light 6-pin.
Yeah.
Trips late.
He's getting a lot of length there. You know, it's getting back enough, but you got to wonder if one of these shots is going to sneak in there and it's going to. Hunter misses the 10.
Yeah, that's 2 opens for him. That's one thing that he didn't really do a lot of in the first 2 rounds. Is he didn't.
Yeah, it's just a matter of it gets frustrating when you leave those shots, so you think you're striking, and you just got to settle down and get your spare and move on to the next one.
Can he take advantage of the Brooklyn strike? No, he can. 3-6-10 for Jeff Grego.
Yeah, Jeff just doesn't look like he's getting the projection of the ball out. You know, he's trying to keep it in tight so he doesn't come up light, but the back end's just taking it high.
And Jeff's a really good player, too. From Fort Wayne. Really, I thought the sleeper pick of this match would be Grego.
Well, he made good adjustments, the last round for sure, and he's close to that. It's just I think the lanes need to calm down a little bit and be a little smoother, and good spare.
Good spare. A lot of ways you can miss the 3-6-10, isn't it?
Good spare.
Well, I want to. Today is my youngest son, Landon's birthday. He turns 12. He turned 12 today, so almost 2 teenagers, 13 and 12. So
happy birthday, Landon! Very nice.
Yeah. So
what does a 12-year-old want these days?
well, most of the time it's video game related.
Games, yeah.
He's made a ball change.
Wow. Well, that was flush.
Wonder what he saw that he didn't like with.
I think a 9. A 9. That was a great shot, though. But the other ones were good, too.
Now Gene Perez here.
Wow. There's no doubt on that shot.
Oh, that was 10 back. Anymore, when you're bowling these state title or championships like the Masters and the Scratch Classic, you pretty much know you're gonna have to try to beat Gene Perez at some point, right?
That's for sure.
His run here in the last 4 or 5 tournaments has been amazing. I believe he just missed the top 4 last year when Matt Sanders won it, if I remember correctly. He got knocked out just in the last fill ball, or in the 10th frame in the round of 8. Might have been by Chris Seyfarth, too. And then he won the Masters and the Scratch Classic back-to-back in 18 and 19. So he's one that, when he shows up in the bowling center, that's one guy I'm going to have to try to beat. Grego looking to make the 4-pin here on lane 6.
Yeah, it was a much better shot. He left the 4-pin, but it was a much better shot. Projection was good and had a good chance to strike on that one.
Well, we have no idea who's leading this or not. We'll have a score.
Well, I would say Gene's probably leading, but this would go far into that if he gets this one.
Yeah, you never want to tell your viewers that your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
We're basing what we've seen here lately that Gene probably has a slight lead. I'm guessing over Jimmy Cook. And Jeff Grego's got to be real close. Hunter with a couple of open frames. Oh my goodness, he can't get. He has bowled a lot better than his score is showing.
We're bowling for 2,500 basically, but you just struck on the monitor for 10,000.
Boy, Hunter with another 9-pin, and he missed it. Boy, he's made some good shots, but then he's made a lot of critical mistakes on spares.
He's done a great job of keeping himself in check, because those would just drive you nuts. But boy, you gotta take a deep breath and step back and get that spare and move on to the next one, because he's lined up. He's lined up better than anybody out there.
Right.
It's just he's not had any luck carrying.
33 pins he's lost on single pins. And now here's Jeff Grego.
Good shot.
Light mixer,
Good shot.
nice
Yeah, he
shot
liked that
there.
one much better. Yeah. projected it much better. He doesn't want to loop it out. He wants on a straight line get it out. You know, it's kind of like an angle getting it to the back end where you want it. You're almost playing the back end.
We got to be getting down to the 8th, 9th frames, I would assume. Maybe even. Nice
Beautiful
shot there by
yeah,
Jimmy.
Beautiful shot.
Well, we'll know if they throw more than 2 balls in a frame. We'll know that they're in the 10th frame.
Well, Jimmy sat down, so it must have been the 9th.
And the 3-6.
Yeah, it's hard to believe what game Hunter would be bowling if he'd carried.
Well, he had about 5 shots in a row that he just absolutely
Labeled.
blistered
Yeah.
the pocket, and he got nothing for it.
Oh, boy.
Uh-oh.
See, he got that one to return last time on that lane, but that one just kind of
That wiggle.
scooted. Yep.
What do you? Oh, and he missed another spare. He's going to knock himself right out of this. He's going to have a huge game in game 2. But what if you're Jimmy and Jeff and you just see Gene leave that? Your eyes kind of get big?
Yeah, I mean he's keeping them in the game, which is what you don't want to do. You know, you want to try to get out there and just force them to shoot big games to get back in, and just kind of keeping it really tight.
Well, we wouldn't know if it's 10th frame because Gene and Hunter
Yeah.
just opened. Oh my goodness! What? I mean, based on how things have gone this year, you wouldn't expect any different, would you?
You would not. This would be right par with it. That was the 10th frame Jimmy struck. He's staying up there. He's not getting down.
All right.
That was a
10th frame.
beautiful shot. That's 3 in a row for him, too.
Good eyes
He's had
there.
2 turkeys.
That's why I got you in the booth, Mike.
Good projection on that one.
Oh, comes in light. Oh, leaves a 7.
That was a good shot. That was a good shot. He got to the spot in the back end he wanted. It just didn't quite make the turn, but boy, had every chance to strike.
I have a feeling, I'm just going out on a limb here, that it's a pretty tight match here between Jeff, Jimmy, and Gene right now. I think Jimmy obviously has to have the lead at this point.
I would say so, especially if he gets this one. Wow, beautiful shot.
Always get worried about.
I was going to say
when you-
that's going to make it. Then I thought, oh.
when you hook it
Yeah.
in there, but you start the ball down the middle of the lane.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just like the straight and narrow
You know,
shot.
I was much younger. I used to enjoy that, but I don't know if I had the nerves for it later on.
Oh, now Jimmy with this fill ball here in the 10th frame.
And he wants to keep filling it.
Yeah,
You come around that one a little more, but hey, you got it to hold up trip to 4 and leave the 10.
9 will work. Now we just got to go find out
You
what
want
the
to guess what he
scores
shot?
Oh my goodness. Again, want to thank our sponsors here for the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic presentation here on Savage Bowling TV. Motive Bowling, Pinheads, Bowling Center and Fishers, Big 4 Socks, Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl, and we also want to thank the Anderson-Madison County Visitors Bureau. And we get all the way to the championship match, Power Surge, and we have no scoring monitors. And Jimmy Cook with a huge lead, actually. Not as close as we even thought, was it?
Almost what you want to recount.
You had to go there, didn't you?
I didn't mean that. But I would have never guessed that. I
would have not. I thought it was a little bit tighter than that. But Jimmy Cook with a 50-pin lead on Jeff Grego. Now here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to keep score this match. And we're going to have an idea of what's happening. Well, we're going to trust Jeff's calculations
I was going to
here.
say, I think that just went back to the staff in the back to recheck that. But nah, we believe it.
All right, here's Hunter now, who he's just looking to try to go up a spot or two.
Yeah.
And
I mean, Hunter shoots 140, and he probably missed a pocket twice.
he had 4 opens.
Yeah.
5 opens. He had 4 single pin misses, and then he had the split.
Gene breaking high. I assume he probably made a little bit of a move, but he gets spares and move on to the next one.
Now Gene Perez with the 2-4-7 here. And we're in frame 1 of game number 2. Your scores right now, Jimmy Cook leading the way with 244, Jeff Grego in second with 194, Gene in third with 184, and Hunter Glaze in fourth with 140. Now Jimmy Cook with his first shot of the game, and boy, he is on quite a roll.
Yeah, he's lined up.
That's got to be at least 7 in a row, maybe, for Jimmy.
Yeah. The Grego here on the right lane, I mean, he's been close. He just couldn't carry the in-between ones that would have gave him strikes, a string of strikes. There he gets it. There he gets it.
Great shot there from Jeff. Now, you know,
he has a similar look to Cook. You know, they're all trying to play that angle from basically inside to a certain point on the back end, and
well, Gene Perez now, he's looking at the scores back here with Jeff, and he knows he's just got to do nothing but throw strikes.
Pretty shot there.
He went to a ball change there.
Pretty shot.
I'm looking and I'm like, wow, I'm keeping score the old-fashioned way here. I can't say I haven't done this in a while.
Yeah. Hunter getting just 2. Yeah, it's tough for Hunter. I mean, he hit the pocket so well the first game, and just now it's mentally you just need to take a deep breath and just try to get out of what you can and learning experience and use it as that.
Yeah, you could see kind of the deflated.
Solid 8 was just,
yeah.
I mean, goodness gracious.
He's got the deflated look here in a little bit. Jeff going high here with the 3-6-10.
You know, it's like Jeff can see it. He can see what he wants it to do, and sometimes we find ourselves trying to strike before we let go of it. You know, you got to let it go to get to that point you need it to be at, and let the ball do the work instead of all wrist at the bottom of your swing. Jimmy breaking down to 4-9. That's a big break for him because he's just trying to fill for sure and get a couple strikes and just make them have to throw a lot of strikes to get back.
Well, he's got a 60-pin lead on Gene Perez. And
well, we all know Gene could throw the strikes. I mean, he was stringing 6 and 7 the round before.
Right, and he can easily go off for 260 or better. Well, Jimmy's got to be thinking, though, in his mind maybe, all right, anything over 200, and I got a pretty good chance of beating Gene. Then he's going to be looking at what Jeff's doing. And if he keeps pace with Jeff, it's just going to be hard for those guys to catch up.
Well, if you're Jimmy, you got to be careful of looking too far ahead. I mean, you really just got, for him, he needs to take it one frame at a time and just, you know, try to throw strikes and just win it. Yeah, Gene's got a little bit of problem trying to, I think he's faked himself out a little bit on a couple of those shots, you know, where they were hanging. Now he's in a point where trying to go more direct and it's just breaking loose.
Not a spare you want to shoot at. 2, 4, 7, 8. Tough spare.
Nice shot.
Did I miss something there? Was that Jimmy's second or third shot?
Third,
okay. I didn't.
bad break on the spare for Gene. Strike for Hunter. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll get her figured out. This is new for me. I'm normally just, you know, commentating and I'm done, but now I got math involved and writing stuff down. Wow.
Well, I think that's supposed to be Chad's job, I think, wasn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
You got to be the producer, director, statistician. Good shot by Jeff there. And like I said, Jeff's had that. He's had that look where you think he's going to take off, and then he just can't seem to get the second strike to open things up for him.
Jimmy probably has just a little more tilt, probably a little more area than Jeff does, I would assume.
Yeah, I would say so as well. Hunter for a double. Good shot.
Big shot here for Jeff Grego. Got a strike working in the third. Trying to chop away at that 50-pin lead that Jimmy Cook has now. Oh no. And that's exactly what you didn't want.
Yeah.
An open frame. Now if you're Jimmy, the arm swing just got a little looser here.
Yeah.
As Gene opened in the third. He's got a 100-pin lead on Hunter Glaze. Jimmy's in a really good situation right now.
Yeah, there's nobody putting any pressure on him to make him work, so.
5-3. That gives 66 in the fourth now for Jeff Grego, and now the 50-pin lead Jimmy had on him just went up to about 70.
Yeah.
Just like
With
that.
6 to go.
With 6 frames left.
Wow. When that ball hits, it just hits. Man.
And if you're Hunter, you're doing the what if.
Yeah.
What if 3 or 4 of those carry instead of leaving them? Oh. These guys are just basically handing Jimmy Cook the
Yeah,
championship.
this doesn't happen too often when you're out there with this type of caliber of players, but Jimmy has continued to put the pressure on them, throwing strikes and filling frames and just doing what he needs to do. And instead of the other way around where the guys come behind her trying to put the pressure, he's just firing it right back and running. He's making some great shots. Here's where it's very difficult as the leader, who is Jimmy, doing this by 70, 80 pins, not to let up.
Right.
Because you still have 6 frames to go.
Keep your foot on the gas.
Yeah.
Here we go, 5th frame, working on a double. Jimmy Cook well
I
on
would
his
say
way.
the foot was on the gas right there. That was a great shot. Perfect. 10 in the pit.
He's got now a 34-pin lead in the game against Jeff Grego right now.
Trips that 4.
Jeff's wondering what if I'd love to have had that shot back in the 4th.
Yeah, it's just none of the competitors except for Jimmy's been able to put any strikes together to get any momentum going. Good shot by Gene Perez.
And basically right now, Gene and Jeff and even Hunter right now, if he strikes right here, comes in and misses the head pin, leaving the 1-2. We're really bowling for 3rd or 2nd place. Grego must strike here.
Nice shot.
Gets it.
Yeah, good. Projected the ball very nicely. Gave it room.
.102 in the 5th frame for Hunter Glaze. I'm going to start writing smaller. I'm going to run out of paper. Just realized. How many frames we got?
Well, you just have to stop them. You only get to, that's all we're doing.
Right.
Sorry, Scott's paper only got to 8 frames. That's it.
Oh my goodness. All right, Jimmy Cook now with a 3-bagger working 6th frame in full control. of this match.
Yeah, I got that one in just a little bit. Breaks it down. That's what you want to do, just fill frames now.
Well, he's got a 33-pin lead through 4 over Jeff Grego. Now, Jeff just cut that to 23, and he can cut it down to 13. But remember, he's got a 50-pin lead on him after game 1. And if you're Jimmy, that's all you want to do.
Yep. Yep, make him work to get back in.
Another strike for Hunter.
We're almost to the point where, which is unbelievable, that Jimmy's already won.
Yeah.
We're very close to that.
We're very, very close. And a double for Gene. I mean, we're already in the 7th frame.
Yeah, I mean,
of the final match here, or final game, I should say, of this 2-pin match, or 2-game match. I'll get it right here sooner or later. Jimmy Cook now with the spare in the 6th, working 7th frame.
wow, great shot. Great
That's
shot.
a real confident swing right now. Not sure if I missed Jeff's shot in the 7th or not. I'm going to say no.
Yeah.
All right, Jeff Grego here, working on a double, 7th frame. Cut that lead in the game to 13, and he does.
Yeah, that's the angle he was playing earlier, and another good shot.
Boy, if he does something or gets one in the 4th frame, it's a little bit of a different feel to it, right?
There's really no loop to it. It's just got a straight line. You know, that if he keeps it in that straight line, he's got it.
Now,
oh, good shot. Good shot.
7-pin. 103 now in the 6th for Gene. Hunter Glaze now with a 2-pin. Right now, 2nd place is solidly in the hands of Jeff Grego. Hunter's cut that 44-pin deficit down to 24. And he spares. Gene spared, so 123, 142. He's down 25 for 3rd place right now. Grego looking to cut that deficit down to 13 here with a strike in the 8th. Oh, and a stone 8-9 pin.
That's the look, though. I mean, that's a great shot, solid 9. But that's what we thought that we'd be looking at. Great shots by Greg there.
And that's going to wrap things up for Jimmy Cook. He's going to be your champion of the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic. Title number 2 in this event for Jimmy Cook.
Oh,
and
beautiful shot.
All he's doing is just adding to the resume.
Yep, he is very relaxed, throwing it great.
Spare for Jeff, 145 in the 7th. Gene with the strike in the 9th. Gene can strike out for 203. Hunter Glaze has 222 out there. Hunter still with a chance to creep into that third position. But right now, it's all but wrapped up for Jimmy Cook, and what a weekend it is for.
Yeah, he realized he's having a good time down there now. He realizes it's well over. Yeah.
Nothing like a stress-free
No.
9th and 10th frame, isn't
Yeah.
it? Oh,
Man.
2-8-10.
It's demoralizing for these guys, but they bowled well to get here. I mean, it's a hard format. It's a very difficult format. The start, to stop, and the drop the pins. It's they've done a great job.
All right, we got a ball needed on Hunter's ball didn't come back. All right, 171 in the 9th for Jeff Grego, but he's going to finish second. Well, actually, take that back. He's still got some work left to do now with Gene Perez.
Sitting on that strike in the 9th, yeah.
Absolutely. Gene could potentially go around Jeff. Hunter makes the spare. Hunter has 211 out there, so he's going to be locked into that. Most he can shoot is 350. Jeff's in the 370s already. And Jimmy is in another stratosphere.
He gets the title.
Yeah.
He's the champion.
He gets everything good about it, right?
Another good shot. Yeah,
Oh, he's
great
just-
shots.
Wow, he has just absolutely bowled phenomenal.
Yeah.
Obviously, when you got a 60-pin, 50-pin lead over guys after one game, your arm swing is really loose. And like
He came right back out and kept firing them.
And like you said earlier too, is stay on the offense. Stay on the offense. Don't be defensive, and he definitely has done that.
Yeah, nobody was ever able to mount any kind of a challenge to put the pressure on him, and he just kept giving it right back.
Well, he got a handful there.
Good shot.
Now, if you're Jeff Grego, he's going to have to strike here. The second ball in the 10th for Gene will force Jeff to mark in the 10th to keep second place. Jimmy Cook can shoot 259. I mean, he's bowling on a different pattern.
Yeah.
Hunter just trying to finish out on a positive note here, and he misses way right.
Yes, it's disappointing for him, I'm sure, but he made some great shots early on that would have put him really into contention. Just didn't get the breaks, didn't get the carry he probably deserved, and missed some spares. But yeah, you learn from this one and move on. And Gene knows what this one's all about.
He does. And a good spare there.
It's a good tournament for Hunter. Good tournament.
201 finish there for a 341 total.
He threw the ball well.
You know, he gets any of those hits in the first game to fall.
Yeah,
all
I
of a
mean, he really
sudden-
should have been shooting the spares. I mean, they were good enough to be strikes.
Yeah, he'd be looking at a solid 400 series.
Yeah.
He just had no luck. Now Gene Perez here. Phil ball in the 10th frame. He knows the situation. 202. 386. Boy, we come off of, 480s and 470s and 460s and 450s, and now all of a sudden, these guys are scrambling to shoot 380, 390, and Jimmy Cook's 100, over 100 pins better than the next guy. Unbelievable bowling for the young man out of Indianapolis, Indiana.
Great shot.
Another strike.
Yeah, he's bowled well all day. Made good adjustments. Well, we talked about a break here or there, but you've got to get those opportunities, and then you take advantage of them. He took advantage of them more than one or two shots afterwards. He kept them running. But he's a great player. It's nothing new for Jimmy. He's a great player.
And And a nice strike there for Jeff Grego. And he needs the next one right here.
Yeah.
Yep, he's got to have the first two to go to keep second place. You know, Jimmy's no stranger to success. He's always been one of the top players in the state.
Yes, most definitely, for a long time.
And
yeah, that's two of the best games I've seen right there. And for the title, that's even better.
You can talk to anybody all over the United States and ask them if they know Jimmy Cook from Indianapolis, and they know who he is. Yeah. And he's a well-known name in the bowling circles. Now a big shot here for Jeff Grego. This for second place.
Oh, too much room.
Oh. And if he makes the spare, Gene Perez is going to finish second by 1 pin.
Yeah, I mean, Gene made some big shots in the 9th and 10th. You know, 3 strikes, 9th, 10th, and 11th, and Jimmy finishes it out strong.
259, 503.
What a set.
And Jeff goes 1 for 17, 188, 382. And that's your final, folks. Jimmy Cook is your 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic champion with a 503 series. Gene Perez finished second with 386. Jeff Grego third with 382, and Hunter Glaze fourth with 341. We're going to take a quick break, and we'll come back with Mike Aulby and the champion, Jimmy Cook from Indianapolis, your 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic champion.
Testing 1, 2, 3. Welcome back. I now want to turn it over with all the spoils to our winner, to Jeff Circle. Jeff, take it away.
Thank you. I want to congratulate Jimmy on winning the tournament this year. It was quite an eventful final round, and for that, you get this nice little trophy to put at home, and you also get this nice check for $1,500 and an entry into the National Masters along with some expense money. So congratulations on that, and I think you did a great job.
Thank you.
Yeah. Can you take the microphone there?
Yep.
Jimmy, great job. I mean, what a great champion. Second time you've won this event, the Indiana Scratch Classic. One of the strongest fields I've seen in the last few years that I've been able to be part of it. But you seem to battle all day today. You seem to have maybe a mistake or a bad break here or there, but you always battle back. How are you able to do that?
I'm going to tell you that there are more mistakes than bad breaks, just being honest with you. But the inspiration was the monitors down here at Mike Aulby Arrowhead Lanes. My man struck for $10,000, I know, at least 6 times in the last 2 games here. I love watching. I even come up and said something. True inspiration, grew up. I mean, you was one of my idols. So, you know, it's humbling at the same time. Get a bowl with one of my good friends, Gene, Hunter making the cut. Also Grego, which is one of the best bowlers in northern Indiana. I mean, this field was star-studded by all imaginations, but it come down to spares. I mean, pair to pair, you had guys throwing urethane, you had guys throwing surface, you had guys playing 20, you had guys playing 5. So for me, coming down the stretch, it was just making good shots, but also having something that I could just control the pocket. And when I threw it bad, but as long as you threw it 80%, you was close. And it always boils down, it don't matter if it's here or the Masters, a circle pattern, you got to keep it in play. You got to hit the 1-3. Then you got to make your spares. So, like I said, it's humbling. I love to win it twice. Great guys. You guys, thank you so much. Gilmore, Chad, thank you guys for everything. Circle runs some of the best events in the state. I'm just glad I'm part of the Indiana bowling community.
Jimmy, you did a great job. You're a class champion. We're proud of you to do that. We want to wish you a lot of luck out in Vegas for the Masters. And you beat a great field today. They all bowled tremendously well, but you made the great shots and the great moves. We're proud of you. Jeff, thank you for another wonderful event, the Indiana Scratch Classic in 2020. And I'm going to turn it back up in the booth to Scott.
All right. Thanks, Mike.
Thank you so much.
Oh, great job, though. Wow, what shots, man. You just kept the pedal to the metal on them guys. It was just unbelievable.
I told Terry, I said.
All right, thanks, Chad. And again, congratulations to Jimmy Cook on the championship now. That's 2 Indiana Scratch Classic championships for him. And obviously, Jimmy, one of the most talented players in the state of Indiana. And what a field we had. You know, we had some crazy things happen here in the championship match. We had a power surge. We lose our scoring monitors, but we make the best of it. Jimmy Cook, your champion, with a 5-0-3 2-game series. Gene Perez in second. Jeff Grego in third, and Hunter Glaze, your top 4. We'll be back on the air Saturday of next weekend from Championship Lanes in Anderson, Indiana, with the 2020 Indiana State Queens. Mike Aulby will be in the booth with me as well. We want to thank everyone for watching the telecast here for the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic from Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl. Before we go, we want to thank our sponsors again, Motive Bowling, Pinheads Bowling Centers in Fishers, Indiana, Big 4 Sox, and Mike Aulby's Arrowhead Bowl, along with the Anderson-Madison County Visitors Bureau. For Mike Aulby, Scott Gilmore, once again your champion of the 2020 Indiana Scratch Classic, Jimmy Cook from Indianapolis,